You are now checked in to Stand Up New York Labs. Oh, yeah.
Hey, Mark, fake banter for the intro.
That's all I know how to do.
Great.
Good to be here.
Welcome to Tuesdays with
Stories.
Hit her in the face with a surfboard.
And then the duck fell out of his bag.
Surf's up. And she didn't even flush.
Knock, knock.
Who's there? Mark Norman and Joe List.
Yeah! This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody.
No, that's terrible.
This is supposed to be cheesy.
My radio is spitting at me.
Hey, all right. Welcome to Tuesdays with Stories, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. We're back with a hot one. How you doing there, Joseph?
Warn them about my voice.
All right, yeah, Joey, sick. He got a real phlegm throat. He's got a frog in your throat. You can't get it all out.
Yeah, I got a bad, sexy voice thing happening. So my voice may cut out a couple times here, but for you lady fans...
Well, it's fine. We got a fun guest to carry this whole thing. You might know him as Luis J. Gomez.
LJG.
What up, motherfuckers?
Looking good. Boy, you're tan.
I'm tan. I just got back from a cruise.
Yeah?
I'm in shape. I've only in
What
carbs.
shape is that?
Oh, come on. I'm getting in better shape. I'm getting in better shape.
A rhombus.
I had carbs one day last month, the last day of the cruise.
Wow.
It's the only day that I ate any carbs, any sugar, anything. I'm doing one cheat day a month. I'm back. I'm
One a
fucking
month?
motivated. One cheat day a
That's
month.
tough, man.
Yeah.
What kind of carb did you have?
I had on the last day of the cruise, I had 2 cookies with some whipped cream.
Woo!
And I had a cheeseburger on a bun.
Wow.
And I had mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's a lot of carbs.
That's a
great.
fatty meal. There.
I almost got invited to that.
Yeah.
Jay Okerson, I love this. He was like, "Hey, bro." He's like, "Man, I almost asked you to do this cruise in Bermuda for 4 days
The Bahamas.
in the Bahamas, but then I asked someone else instead."
Well, you know,
That's not really-
it wouldn't.
That's
been,
not all that nice.
You wouldn't have been that good on that cruise.
Oh.
How come?
It was a little chaotic. It was a little bit heavy
Boozy?
metal, a lot of booze.
I like chaos.
Dude, we got into a fist fight, or almost a fist fight, with the guitarist from 3 Days Grace.
Oh, I want to hear that story for sure.
Yeah, that's a story. We just told that on Legion of Skanks, but I'll tell you the Luis J. Gomez version from just my
Please.
perspective.
Yeah, people don't listen to this show and Legion of Skanks.
Yeah, it's 2 very different shows.
Oh,
Right, yeah, funny.
Do you know the band 3 Days Grace?
Never heard of them.
You've
I got
definitely heard of them.
I got a tattoo of them.
No,
I've heard of Three Doors Down.
And also Lady Grace? No. Fall from Grace?
I don't know.
The
but
Blessing.
you definitely know the song. It was like, I hate everything about you.
No, that's
Why?
Ugly Kid Joe.
No, do I love you?
But wait, Ugly Kid Joe did, and I hate everything about you.
Yeah, that's not the same fucking thing.
But that was before them.
Yeah, but this is more metal. It's a little more metal. You know the song.
They just
though.
rip them off?
right.
Probably. Fuck them. Yeah, dude, they probably ripped them off.
Yeah.
Fuck 3 Days Grace. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. All right, so let's hear the story.
Yeah.
So they rip off some songs, and then you can bat them about that?
No, here's what happened. Okay, we were on the boat. We were doing shows, Legion of Skanks Live. So we're doing the live podcast. Plus, we did 2 live stand-up shows. It was Shiprocked 2014. If you don't know what Shiprocked is, it's a big, huge metal cruise. So they have a bunch of metal bands, Five Finger Death Punch, 3 Days Grace being one of them. In This Moment, Seven Dust, Living Color.
There we go.
Seven
Seven
Dust.
Dust I've heard of.
You know
yeah.
Living Color, Cult of Personality, the Cult
Oh,
of Personality.
yeah.
The black guys.
Yeah. We
Yeah.
actually scheduled them on the podcast, and we're just going to talk to them all about the fucking the craziness of being black guys in metal.
Yeah.
But it didn't end up materializing, which I wish it would have, because we wouldn't have had a fist fight with 3 Days Grace.
Hit us with
Wow.
it. Boy, a lot of teasing here. Give me the
Yes.
business.
I had to give a setup. Nobody knows what Shiprocked is.
no,
Ah, you're right. You're right.
no, I appreciate it. I'm just saying.
I'm a good storyteller.
Fucking great. That's why you're here. You're our second guest.
Yeah, that's true.
Am I
Mike
the first
Kaplan.
guy that's got invited back?
Well,
Mike
Goldman.
Kaplan, but he
Mike
invited
Kaplan.
himself.
Fuck Mike
Yeah,
Kaplan.
we tried to get Goldman, but he canceled.
Yeah.
So I'm the third choice. All right, so we're on the boat. We do 2 shows. Shows go great. Considering it's like bar shows in the middle of it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. People are just hammered. They're annihilated. But it's me, Dave, and Jay. We're pretty good in those situations.
And you're
Dave
just-
Smith and Jay Okerson.
Yeah,
And
Dave
you're just
Smith.
on the Atlantic.
We're on the Caribbean Sea.
Wow.
On the Caribbean Sea.
Fun.
We shipped out of Miami to the Bahamas. Now, here's the thing.
Like a bag of Coke.
Have you guys ever done a cruise before?
No, hopefully never.
No.
Well, no, this isn't a fucking like cruise ship, like I'm a cheesy cruise ship comic. We were like filthy and like drunk.
Oh, all right. all
Nice.
right.
No,
That sounds
go
pretty good.
fuck yourself, Mark Norman. You see what he just did right there?
I see what he did.
What did I do?
He did a little jab right there, like
You prefer a big jab?
Big Jab Okerson.
That wasn't bad.
All right, so
That would be his punch out character.
so the shows are going pretty good considering that it's a 1 o'clock in the morning drunken chaos show. And the last day we're supposed to do a podcast earlier in the day in like this open forum where fans could come in and watch us interview these musicians. And it ended up being where they put us was just specifically for press. So we didn't want to do it there. We wanted because we've been promoting it all the whole week on the ship. So we wanted to be Joe's taking his clothes off altogether.
Sorry, everybody.
Oh, man, that was wild.
So
I've had a lot of carbs.
So we decided we're going to do the podcast later on that night at midnight
Yeah.
in the same place we did the comedy shows.
Okay.
What we didn't know at the time was the drummer from 3 Days Grace, he is a DJ, DJ Lippy or some shit like that. And he was supposed to be doing a
Black
set
guy?
white guy. He was supposed to be doing a set at the exact same time, a DJ set that we were doing this podcast.
Okay.
We didn't know this at the time, so they pushed back the DJ.
Got it.
So we get to the area to do the podcast, and it's packed. And we're like, oh, wow, this is kind of crazy. It's pretty packed for us for a fucking podcast, like
Yeah.
300, 400 people.
Oh, wow.
So, but they were there for this DJ Lippy character, right?
Ah.
So we start doing a podcast.
Who would go see a DJ? That blows my mind.
Well, it's like
Lippy.
it's almost like a club on the ship.
So they just want to dance.
They just want to dance.
Okay, I
and,
see, I
It's
see.
the last night. People are getting fucked up.
DJ Lippy sounds like a masturbating woman.
Actually, I heard the chair squeak.
There was a chair squeak noise. Oh, because lips and the...
I know, I got it, I got it.
Jesus
You're
Christ.
scratching. Yeah, I get
Yeah,
it.
it wasn't
All right.
bad.
Oof.
I'm sure some people fucking laugh somewhere.
There was no
Joe
big jab
List.
Okerson.
Joe List, not very good on this show. Great on any other show.
Oh,
Yes.
boy.
Thank you for bringing it up. Big Jab Okerson.
That wasn't that bad.
You're telling me DJ Lippy wasn't as good as Big Jab
It
Okerson?
got mine got a laugh. Yours got a chair squeak.
That's because he felt bad about the cruise comment.
I did feel bad about that.
So Lippy's up there.
So no, Lippy's not up there. We go up there, and we quickly realize that people are not there for us. Like they're not, dude. People are just talking. We're doing a podcast through the PA system, and people are just not paying attention. There's like 7 people that we invited that are there, like up front, ready to go.
Yeah.
And it's getting weird. Rich Aronovich was there.
I love Rich.
Big hair comic.
Yeah, dude, but he wasn't doing comedy. He was hanging out with Brewer. Like Brewer just said, "Hey, do you want to go on this cruise with me and like
wow.
help me out with shit?"
No, he must have been opening.
No, he wasn't opening
What?
for Brewer.
He's
Brewer
got-
was doing like this big crazy music thing.
Oh, wow.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
On like the big main stage. He was doing this big metal show. It was actually pretty awesome.
So Aronovich was tagging along to get laid, get
Aronovich
drunk.
was just trying to, well, he doesn't drink, but he was just trying to like get laid, go on a cruise, whatever.
That's not bad.
I love Aronovich.
So Aronovich was there. He was hanging out on the podcast as well. And we're doing it, and it's just going bad. So this big dude, and by the way, at the time, we had no idea DJ Lippy was supposed to be on. We had no idea that this was the guitarist from 3 Days Grace. This guy just walks up to the stage, and he's doing a lot of like, just like a motion with his hand that we're talking too much.
Ah.
You know, he's like, and then he walks up and he's like, get the fuck off the stage. This ain't about comedy. It's about music. Nobody wants to fucking hear you. Like that. We're on a
Damn,
podcast.
He is
Wow.
Lippy. Literally Lippy.
So we're on a podcast and he does this. So me, Dave, and Jay, we all, he starts walking away and I'm just like, shut the fuck up. You're wearing a pirate's hat, you faggot. I call him a faggot.
I like that.
Like a Pittsburgh Pirates hat
No,
or
no,
a
no,
pirate hat?
Actual pirate hat.
Oh, wow.
3-pointer.
Yeah.
Patch?
So
Parrot?
no patch, no parrot,
Regular
no wooden
leg?
This guy was everything but a pirate. Okay, but he was still wearing a pirate's hat. So he comes back, he hears us say that, and he's got a glass of wine in his hand.
Of course he does.
He's a pirate. What else do they drink?
Rum, usually.
So,
Yeah,
fuck off. I know nothing about pirates. I couldn't even think of wooden leg before one of you could.
All right, well,
How about a chest overflowing with change?
we're pretty quick.
He's dying of AIDS. His teeth are falling out of his head. These are real pirates, Somali pirates.
Ah, Captain
there we
Phillips.
go.
I am the captain now. Look at me. I am the captain now.
That was a great Sean Connery.
That's yeah. It sounded closer to Amistad to me.
All right, so what happened with Lippy?
Lippy's not even there, dude. Lippy's not on stage.
Oh, so who's the pirate?
This is the guitarist.
Wait a
The
minute.
pirate is the guitarist.
Pirate is the guitarist.
Arr.
3 Days of Grace.
Got it. Oh, okay.
He's the guitarist.
Yeah.
I liked it.
You know what? That was the best joke I've ever done in my life.
No argument there.
So fucking.
Woo-wee.
So I call him back. He comes back with a glass of wine, and he tries to throw it at Dave Smith. It's me, Dave, and Jay. He goes to fling it in Dave's
so he
face.
goes to the smallest guy.
Yes. But here's
And
what's-
the Jew. Well, Big J's a Jew.
yeah, but here's what's funny, dude. If you know anything about a glass of wine, the way it's shaped
Yeah.
is like it's almost like a lacrosse stick. It does a
Yeah, it
cradle
comes
like
back in.
yeah, dude.
Right.
But it didn't come back in. It flung to Jay's face.
Oh,
So he tried to
classic.
hit Dave, but it just like flung and smashed. So I look at Dave. I'm expecting Dave to be covered head to toe in wine.
Yeah.
I look over at Jay. There's just red wine dripping from Jay's nose.
Oh, man.
Oh, that's great.
So we all immediately fucking get up. Like, yeah, motherfucker, do some. So these guys get in between us. And he ends up fucking walking away, and we just kind of feel like assholes. By the way, we're on a podcast at
Yeah.
this time. We're doing a podcast.
Wow.
Great radio, though.
Yeah, well, it turns out they didn't end up fucking recording it.
Ah.
Jesus.
I don't trust anybody except for myself recording podcasts. I don't trust producers. I don't trust fucking Fatigate. I don't trust any of these guys.
Oh, jeez.
I've never had somebody try to produce a podcast for me and actually have it come out perfectly.
Wow. Well,
Jeez, well,
I need to
delete
get
this one,
I
too.
need to get involved with the labs.
Well, good luck now. You just shit all over him. So what happened?
So he ends up fucking going away. Okay.
How did he get
to
out
jail?
of that?
No, not to jail. Not to the.
So to boat jail?
What are they called? The brigs? What are they called in the bottom?
I think
of
it's
the
the
boat?
brig.
Whatever. So, no, he fucking goes off. And we're like, what the fuck, dude? So security comes up. And we kind of tell him what happened. And we're just feeling like assholes. We feel like we were chumped by this dude.
Yeah,
you know
of
what I'm
course
saying?
you were.
He fucking said, get off the stage. He threw a glass of wine at us. We didn't punch him. But here's the truth. I didn't know this guy wasn't an audience member. I thought he was just some dude drunk on a boat.
Oh,
And
wow.
we're working for the fucking, like the festival. So we
Yeah.
don't, I'm not going to just punch a dude without him throwing his hands up. So it was kind of a weird thing. And it's so funny, like white guys, that's just like white guy thing. I'm only half white, but it really is like if that was a hip hop cruise, there would have been a fucking shooting. There would have been 5
yeah.
stabbings. Like white
Well-
guys don't really want to fight each other.
They're not big on boats.
Right.
Well, they're not big on swimming. They don't mind boats.
Well, they had some.
How do you think they got here?
I don't think they had a good time.
Right. It all goes back to Amistad.
Yeah.
I read that.
The ultimate bad. That's a bad cruise. I did that one.
I read that Amistad went home and became a slave owner. That's a true thing.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Ooh, that changes things.
Yeah.
What a hypocrite.
Yeah, real jerk.
So
So, by the way, it's probably good that I wasn't invited. I would have folded immediately.
You would've-
I would have been apologizing and
first
crying.
of all,
and
we would have been kicked off the fucking boat for Joe List having a meltdown on stage and then asking everyone if he likes him.
yeah,
You had to walk the
2
plank.
days.
I'm about to do that now.
So look, dude, he goes off, and we're like, "What the fuck, dude?" So the promoter from the cruise and the whole Shiprock thing comes up to us, and he's like, "Hey, we're really sorry. We just found him. We found out it was the guitarist from fucking 3 Days Grace at that point." So he's like, "Hey, look, dude, we talked to him. He wants to apologize."
Oh boy.
And I'm just kind of like, "Yeah, I don't even fucking want an apology from this guy. Fuck this guy."
How many people are in the band? Is it like an
Like
8-piece?
4 or 5 people, but they didn't. The guys weren't trying to help him, dude. It was like 3-on-1. We could have rolled this motherfucker at any moment.
yeah.
We chose not to fuck this dude up. Okay, we made every decision to not just fucking. We could have. There's 3 of us. Okay, me and Big J are big dudes. Dave's also a scrappy motherfucker. Dave's
I
not
can
a
see
pussy.
that, yeah.
Yeah, he's a
Dave's
Queens.
from Brooklyn.
Brooklyn guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So, the promoter guys get Danny. He's like, "Hey, dude, come with us." He wants to apologize. So we go into this like secluded area, and the guitarist. If you do pull up his picture, you got to see what this guy looks like.
All right.
Dude, he's like grilling.
Been meaning to check my Twitter anyways.
Me and Big J has been grilling us the whole time. Like as we're standing there, he's like staring at us like he wants to still fight us. So like, what the fuck's up with this guy? So he's like, "What are we gonna shake hands or what?" So we're like, "No, we're not here to shake hands. Like you're supposed to apologize." That's what this guy told us. He's like, "I ain't apologizing to you motherfuckers. Fuck you, and fuck you."
Whoa!
Again, dude. And then he jumps us again. So now we're like, "All right, dude, are we gonna fucking murder this guy?" What? Like literally, I'm so at a loss right now what to fucking do.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I just want to drill this motherfucker in his mouth so badly. So he's like, "Yeah, what are you gonna do, motherfucker? Do
Wow.
something." So at this point, we're just like on the fucking boat. We're in front of security. We're in front of the guy. I was like, "What am I gonna do right now?"
Yeah.
I don't know what to do. So we don't do shit. We just gotta fucking take it again. And we get jumped one more time.
Oh, Jesus.
By this fucking faggot in a pirate hat. And the worst part of all of it, as he's walking away, he's like, "That's right, you guys fucking talk. We ain't gonna do shit." And to me, he goes, "Fat boy."
Whoa!
I hadn't eaten a
wow.
carb in a month. I had one cheat day on the cruise. I was feeling good about myself.
Oh, wow.
And immediately
Wow.
he went fat boy.
Not to mention, Jay's clearly the fat one.
Why wasn't he noticing Jay at all?
Yeah.
He tried to throw the wine on Dave. He called me fat boy.
Yeah. Holy shit!
Is this him right here?
Yeah,
He
that's
looks like
him.
He looks like Patrick Milligan a little bit.
He does look
Oh,
like
is he a
that.
big guy?
He's actually a big dude, like 6'3".
Wow. I gotta say, I mean, I'm friends with you, but I'm in awe of this dude. That's balls.
Barry Stock.
A guy named Barry chumped us.
Barry.
Wow.
Twice.
I'm terrified of him.
Oh boy.
What
I'm
a
gonna
cocksucker, dude.
I'm gonna send him a friend request.
Yeah. Jesus,
So
Barry
look,
Stock.
the way it all ended was, I mean, I was at that point, I was like, this is fucking ridiculous, dude. It's like we're doing everything. Like security was kind of like surrounding us, like we were being assholes,
Right.
And I'm kind of like they were gonna. I had a clear head on the whole time. Like I wasn't like freaking out. Dave and Jay were like flipping out there, like, we're gonna fuck this guy. But I was telling them, I was like, guys, stop threatening him. I was like, if you keep on saying that, they can actually arrest us. So
Right.
You can't just threaten that you're gonna fuck this dude up. So I was
So
kind
you're
of.
the toughest of the three, but the wisest.
But I really
Also.
was. Well, I've also been in this situation before. I went to fucking jail for a weekend for threatening my roommate. Did I tell that one on the last show?
Yes,
I think you did.
That
Yeah.
was, so I know you can't just go out and fucking threaten people. Okay.
Right.
So I said to them, they were at one point they were like, they're like, if you guys don't calm down, we're gonna put you in your stateroom with security guards for the rest of the cruise. It was the
Like
last
the Marx
night.
Brothers.
So then I was like, what are you? Well, I was hold on.
What about him?
This is what I said. I was like, this is an option. I was like, there's an option to put somebody in their stateroom with security outside of their door. At what point does this motherfucker have that? Is that his consequence? He can throw fucking drinks at people. He can threaten us in front of you motherfuckers, in front of you people, and he's still just walking around. And because we're upset about it, and we're not fucking him up. There's three of us. We're not rolling this motherfucker.
That's comedians. They hate comedians.
That's
we
what
get
I was
shit on
thinking.
everywhere we go.
There's no respect for comics.
No respect
It's
for comics.
fucking insanity to me. So then what I said was, I was like, look, here's what's going to happen right now. I'm going to go out there. I'm going to see this guy. He's going to hit me. I'm going to break his fucking jaw, but then I'm going to sue your cruise line because you let this motherfucker walk around and you let him hit me. As soon as I said the word sue, you saw them go kind of like, oh, look at each other. And then they went and got that motherfucker and they put him in a stateroom with security outside of his door.
Hey!
Boy,
That guy
yeah.
got shipwrecked.
Yeah. By the way, the guitarist of Ugly Kid Joe would never pull a stunt like this.
Man, good for you.
That's
You won with words.
Yeah.
You
That's
pulled
a
it.
hell of a tale.
Yeah, you won the way a Jew would win.
Yeah. I really embraced my inner Jew that day.
Yeah, but hey, now you see why they're doing so
I was
well.
sucking up Afrin the whole weekend and just said, hey, you know what, dude? We're going to do this.
Boy, that's amazing.
Good for you.
So did you ever bump into him again? Have you heard from him? Are you
No,
scared
that was
of him?
it, dude. Not scared of him. Fuck this guy.
See, that's what happens with me. If I get in any kind of thing like that, I spend the rest of my life afraid that person's going to find me.
Dude,
and
I
kill me.
would hope that I would fucking see this guy again, and I would hope that he would put his fucking hands on me so I could break his fucking jaw. I understand. I got a kid now, okay? So I can't just go to jail. I can't just hit people. As much as I want to walk down the street and just punch somebody if they piss me off, I genuinely cannot do that. I was denied entrance to Toronto last year because I got arrested for smoking weed a couple of years ago.
Oh, right. I
You know
remember
what I'm saying?
that.
Like, I get, these are things that actually matter in my career now. I was like, dude, I didn't get to go and open up for Dave Attell at the Dark Comedy Festival.
Yeah.
Because I'm an idiot and I smoked weed on the street and I fucking got arrested.
So how does that work? Do you just walk home?
No, I fucking had to jump on the Amtrak. It sucked. You were in Buffalo that weekend.
Wow.
Yeah. I told you to come
That's
to
right,
my
you told me to
place.
come
Yeah,
meet
I was
you.
going to say I would have come and picked you up. But I feel like
brutal.
we weren't as good of friends then.
But here's what I found out. I could have literally just gone on a bus and tried to get in a different border. I could have tried to walk in. They didn't, I had a lawyer on this. Like, they didn't actually remove me from the country. They just denied me entrance because I ended up getting a cunt at the border.
Wow.
It was really Big J's fault.
Yeah.
Big J's a fucking retard. He tried to lie. Well, we all tried to lie. The idea was every time you go to Canada, okay, if you're working, they actually have to stop you and check you out.
I've had this problem too. You never know what to say.
Well, that's the thing. So you could tell the truth and know that you're going to spend another hour or two at the border, or you could lie, which I've done before. When I went up with Metzger, I lied and I said I was just going to visit friends, and that was fine. I went straight through. It was no issue, you know? So this time we said, all right, dude, let's say we're just going to the Dark Comedy Festival. We're friends with the guy who runs it. And that'll be that. And then we'll go straight through. It won't be a problem. Rebecca Trent was driving us. It was me, Big J, Dave, Rebecca Trent. And we get up to the border, and they ask us, like, oh, well, you know, why you going in, blah, blah, blah. So we tell them we're going. They say, all right, pull over. We still want to check the car out. We're going to check for, like, drugs or whatever.
Hookers.
So we get out of the car. You know, we were told we're not working there. We're just visiting. And then the police officers at the border start, like, grilling us. You know, they're like, They're like, oh, so what are you guys doing there? We're like, oh, I want to go to this festival. And then they ask us what we do for a living.
Oh boy.
So they go to me. I tell them I work at a gym. You know, Rebecca says I own a bar. Dave says, oh, I work at her bar.
Uh-oh, here it comes.
This isn't
Big
bad.
J. This is where Big J's fucking big fat ego comes in.
Right.
He goes, oh, I'm a comedian.
Yeah, of course he
He
did.
can't just say that he's got a day job. He can't just say it. Okay.
Right.
He has to say, I'm a comedian. So immediately everyone, there's like 4 cops there looking through our car. They all look at each other and go, they all get into the car, have a conference.
In your car?
Yeah, in our
Rebecca's
car. Yeah, in
Wow.
our car. They get out, they go, you guys got to go inside.
I think it'd be funny if they had a conference in your car and they came out and you guys were all in uniform. Like, stick.
Well, once again, this shows people hate comedians.
They really do.
They hate them.
So they bring us inside, and the woman starts flipping out on Big J. It's like, why would you lie? You told him specifically a thing. You were not working at this comedy festival, and you are working. Jay's like, I'm not working there. I told him I might go up. That's what he told the girl. I might go up. She's like, you might go up. She fucking turns the screen toward him. It's Big J headlining theater date, like his theater dates, dude.
Hilarious.
I mean, like
man.
literally, like you could buy. She clicked on thing. You could buy tickets for him. Like it was fucking. It was so. She flipped out, dude.
There's got to be a second there where you're like, hey, I'm doing pretty good. You know, when she turns that computer, like, look, I got a lot of billing.
Right.
Dude, let me tell you something. Me and Dave looked at each other like, oh shit, we're not going to get in, dude. Jay's going to end up getting turned around here because he lied. We
Yeah.
don't know what the deal is. So she sends him to sit down. She calls me over, and she's just super shitty with me. She's like, yeah, you're not getting in. Yeah, you have 2 arrests on your record.
Wow.
And I'm like, what do you mean I'm not getting in? She was like, I was in this country 2 months ago. Like literally 2 months before I had gone to Canada to some other festival. So she was like, sorry, can't do anything. And they literally fucking wouldn't let me in. They turned me around. And what I found out was it was really just her discretion. It doesn't even have to be arrest. Any 2 things that come up ever on your record, ever, they can make a decision that they don't want to let you in the country. They can just decide.
Wow.
And Canada's specifically very like strict about shit like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Boy.
So I had to take a 10-hour fucking Amtrak by myself
Ah.
all the way
10
back to New
hours.
York.
Yikes.
Brutal. Luckily, there was internet.
If you
That's
were,
brutal.
But if you were white, they would have let you in.
Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah. You're
There's
too-
a chance of
too
that,
dark.
dude. By the way, that's a real thing. People do. Like I'm telling you, right, I've been in situations with Jay and Dave specifically multiple times, a couple times where we got stopped by police smoking pot, and they gave me the ticket.
Yeah, of course it's a
Interesting.
thing.
They said, "Well, we got to give one of you a ticket." You.
But you know what's interesting about that is, you ever read Tipping Point by Malcolm Gladwell? Black people
Is that
do
the
it-
basis from 3 Days Grace? Hold on, I got to get the squeak from the
Yeah, I
chair.
wanted a chair
Oh, yeah, I
squeak.
was hoping for some noise. But he talked about how black people do it too. Like when black people see another black person, they feel the same way. So it's
Yeah.
not just like this racist white thing. Black
No,
people
no, no.
also
It's
have
just
that feeling.
it's out there and it's a very real thing. I don't know if there's any solution to it.
I don't
but did
know.
you see that one thing? It was pretty cool, man. It was that What Would You Do? Do you know that show?
No.
They basically set up. They have actors set up like fucked up situations around real people, and they see what people in real life would do in that situation.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
So there's, they actually did one at Stand Up New York. Actually, they did one downstairs with What Would You Do, which is kind of it was fucked up. I actually disagree with the story because they had Rich Voss on stage, and they had Rich Voss shitting on people in the crowd and being really mean. He called a woman fat. She started crying, and they're taping this to see if anybody would stand up and go, "Hey, don't do that." And
That's hilarious.
in my mind, I'm going like, no, we shouldn't be encouraging people to stand up at a comedy show and for that audience member to be the person that gauges when's the point that's too far. Fuck that. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That's that. No comic actually does that. No comic gets on stage and goes, "Hey, you're fat and disgusting," and then for absolutely no reason. That doesn't happen.
Yeah.
So it's a very weird thing and it's a very weird message that they're sending people.
That's no good.
I remember watching that going like, yeah, Stand Up New York should have even gotten involved in it.
Because they don't care about comedians. Stand Up New York does, but the show doesn't.
Yeah, that's the theme of the show, it seems like, today.
That people don't care about comedians.
Yeah.
But they did the one and they did it in the park. It's pretty crazy, dude. They had a kid using tools to cut a bike off of a bike chain, like that was attached to a tree or whatever. And at first they had a white kid doing it. It was probably like on average once every like 10 minutes, somebody would come up and go, "Hey, is that your bike?" And it was like a white kid wearing, whatever, like kind of loose fitting clothing, backwards baseball cap. And the kid literally says every time, it's like, no, it's not mine. I just figured I'd take it. And people just go, "All right, carry on." And they walk away. Dude,
Wow.
They walk away.
Wow.
I mean, it took like an hour and a half. I don't know the exact numbers, but it was like an hour before somebody said, "Hey, you can't do that." And they
Yeah.
said, "I'll call the cops if you don't stop." Dude, they had a black kid doing it. I mean, within 4 minutes, there's a fucking mob of people around him. Everyone's on their phones calling 911. They have these
Jesus.
same exact parameters, the same exact variables, same outfit the kid is wearing, same age. Dude, it was It was actually kind of like, it was pretty eye opening because I'm the kind of guy that I don't really believe that racism is that prevalent anymore.
Right.
And you go, racism's not even the word,
It's
but
built in.
There's something
in your brain now.
built in. It's kind of fucking crazy. And they even said they interviewed 2 black women. And they said she was like, yeah, like, you know, my instant reaction when I saw that black kid doing that was, he's probably trying to steal this.
So is that an ingrained racism, or do black people steal more bikes? Do we have a black people stealing bike problem or a racism problem?
There are statistics and all that, but it's in there now. It's built in.
Maybe it's in there because of the statistics.
Well, that doesn't help. But I mean,
I'm just playing, devil's buddy here.
Jesse
I'm playing devil's fucking slave owner.
Guy.
Jesse Jackson is quoted as saying, "If I'm walking through a neighborhood at night, I'd rather see a white guy behind me."
Right.
And so you're kind of like, well, then why is it bad when a white guy, you know? So there's all that shit.
Of course.
But they did these tests where they had a businessman, like a white businessman, and like a black guy, and everybody had to like buzz yes or no if he'd gone to prison, and black guys buzzed yes on the black guy.
Right.
So it's kind of like, all right.
I mean, well, look, I do think that, you know, that's a genuine, real thing. I mean, look, more black youths are getting into trouble than more white youths. That's just a fact. But it's still a weird thing. I think it's not a good state that we're in, whether that's the reason or whether we think a certain way. I don't think it's a good state where if I see a black kid doing that, I'm more likely to assume that he's a thief than a white kid. I'm not happy about that.
I agree. I'm not happy about it either, but. I was in Atlanta this weekend for the snowstorm.
Wow.
Oh yeah, slept at the airport.
Cold Atlanta.
Just had happened to have a fucking college gig the night it snowed in Atlanta for the first time in like 60 years.
Wow.
Brutal. The whole town flipped out. Everything shut down. The
But wasn't it
was
only
crazy.
like a couple inches of snow?
It was 3 inches total. A guy died. One
What?
woman gave birth in her
crazy.
car. It was crazy. They just don't know what to do with snow. If that was here, we would have just gone to work and everything. But school shut down. My gig got canceled.
They shut down the airport?
No, they didn't shut down the airport, but the flights got canceled. So I'm sleeping at the airport. It's all these people. I'm making friends. Then I had to get a flight the next day. I had a show in Chattanooga. That got canceled. So now I'm fucked. So now I sleep at the airport, and I have a gig in D.C. with Schumer 2 nights later. So I just say, fuck it, I'm going to try to fly to D.C., get out of the airport. Flight's at 4:20. I wait in line for 4 hours. Get my flight, get my ticket, security line, 3 hours.
What?
It was insane.
3 hour security line?
I mean, I'm there all day. I start getting to work on my ticket like 6 a.m., 6:30 a.m.
Wow, his cruise was less than 3 hours long.
3-hour tour. Yeah, so it was crazy. I'm like, it turned primal. You know, everybody's like fighting, pushing people. There's a weird tension in the airport, and I had to get a snack. I hadn't eaten. I had to get a snack, so I asked this lady. I was like, "Can you let me come back in line? I'll run to this gift shop. I'm going to get some chips and come back." And she was like, "Yeah, no problem." And so I went, came back, and she was like, I can't let you back in.
What?
It was crazy. And I was like, I got a handful of stuff here, my bag, come on. And she's like, nah. So I went, I'm freaking out. I'm begging her. She won't let me back in line. So I go back to the gift shop and I buy her a water. She lets me back in.
Wait, she bought her a water?
I bought her a water.
That's bribery.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. She said if you went back and got her a water, she'd let you in?
No, I just had to think on my feet. I wasn't going to lose my place in line. I've been in line for like 2 hours.
Dude, first of all, was she black?
Nah, she was something.
And she was not white.
She was not a
She looked
whitey.
like Lewis?
If she was stealing a bike, would you call the cops?
Yes.
Okay.
If anybody's stealing a bike, I'd call the cops.
You would have
But
bought her a bike, for God's sakes.
I almost did.
See, I wouldn't be able to handle that. I would have lost the dude.
I was losing it, but I was so greasy and gross. I was like, I just got to get back in this line, and I had to stand with her for 2 hours after that. You know,
Yeah, Jesus.
Brutal.
Sounds like a piece of shit human.
people get crazy in these circumstances.
Dude, it's crazy. It's only like the people that work at the TSA. I don't understand how they just can't hire a higher quality of person.
Oh, it's the worst.
They gotta pay more money.
I mean, how little does the TSA pay? It can't pay that little. These are the people that are in charge of our fucking safety.
It's like McDonald's people. You
It's
know?
legitimately the worst, the lowest common denominator of people.
Right.
Like, it's like people selling tickets in Times Square for comedy shows.
Right.
Right. It really is.
Just
yeah.
fucking awful ghetto fucking thugs. I don't understand it.
At least the people in Times Square have some personality. Hey, come on to the show, you know, and he's never like, hey, get through that security line. You look
Right,
good.
right.
What's going on?
Not a friendly group over there.
Now, here's the crazy thing. My flight was at 4:20. Got pushed back to 6. Got pushed back to 7, 8, 9:30. We don't board till midnight. It's crazy. So tensions are high. People are pissed. Everyone's cranky. There's an old white German couple talking to this black chick, and I took the iPod out of my ears to hear this. The old white guy's asking the black chick, she goes, "Am I crazy?" And this is all in a German accent. "Am I crazy, or does that guy look like Martin Luther King Jr.?" I don't know what accent that was.
Oh, my God.
And the
Can we get Dan Soder on the show, please?
the black lady was so nice. She was like, I don't know. He looked nothing like him. Nothing.
She was like, I don't think it's him.
That
Yeah.
guy looks like a Martin Luther King Jr. Oh.
That wasn't bad. I don't know why you made him gay. But
Yeah, trying to seduce her.
he looked like James Brown or something. He was like, yeah. And this black was like, yeah, kind of like, oh yeah, let's get out of this. And the German guy was like, I mean, come on, it's a spinning image, it's dead on. And the black one's like, yeah, you know, what are you gonna do? It was the most awkward thing I've ever seen.
Wow.
Yeah. So then we got on the plane. I get to D.C. Good times in D.C. How about this? Did a show with Jeff Ross. He gets off stage. I get off stage. A playmate comes up to Jeff Ross. I'm standing next to him. She goes, "I just want you to have this." Hands him a Playboy. She's on the cover.
Oh, wow.
How cool is that? She was so hot. And we all flipped through. We're like, oh, my God. We're looking at her naked as she's walking away. And we're like, oh, my God, oh, my God. And so Jeff Ross is like, let's go down to the cellar and eat. So I have this Playboy. He doesn't want it. And it was a weird sensation because I didn't want the Playboy either. I don't want to just walk around with this thing. So I had to throw away a Playboy.
Oh, my God.
Very
You should have
strange
found a
feeling.
kid to give it to.
I looked around. I tried to give it to a garbage man. He didn't want it.
It's like catching a foul ball in baseball. You got to find a child to
Yeah,
give
'cause
it to.
My whole life I grew up reading not reading them, but looking at Playboys and like they were so special and I coveted them. And now I just had to throw it away.
Isn't that like
crushed
such a
me.
funny thing? Like it's not even that. Like it is kind of weird that you're saying give it to a child. But in my mind, it's not that weird. If there's like a 12, 13-year-old kid, like, yeah, fuck, you got fun with the kid. But in reality, you'd go to fucking jail for that because you're providing pornography to a child.
Oh, is that illegal?
It's definitely illegal.
Oh, shit. I got
Is
to make
it?
some calls.
That's definitely illegal. You cannot give a nudie magazine to a child.
It's
Really?
not booze.
Yeah.
I'm planning on having a son just so I can give him my old nudie magazines.
You're not fucking the kid with the magazine.
Oh, you're not?
Or are you? Yeah.
Maybe you could pat him on the ass with it. roll
Right.
it up.
I think you give it to him and then you pat him on the head. You rough up his hair a little bit and say, have fun.
I
Maybe
mean,
give him a box of tissues.
Any normal kid would enjoy that and hide it and run home. I don't
Right.
think he's gonna
Where'd you
rag
get your
out.
first dirty magazine? Do you remember?
Ooh-wee.
Never owned one. I never watched porn. It's a weird
What?
thing.
What?
We talked
Wow.
about that. You knew that. I found my mother's porn one time.
Oh, that's a
Back.
wild story.
Oh,
It
man.
was
What
a
she
VHS.
taking 2 dicks?
No, it was a crazy. It was like a crazy. I don't know. I didn't watch too much of it.
Wait, she was in it or?
No, she's not in it. You
Oh.
dum dum. She owned it.
She was in it. I think we'd all have a copy of that.
Right.
First porno
Her
mag.
name is Debbie, though. Sorry.
I saw porno way too young. It kind of fucked me. I was at my friend's house. He was a Belgian kid named Jean,
Oh wow.
like Jean Valjean. And his dad was a real horn dog, and he had a stack of Playboys in his closet. And when they would leave, we would just ransack the place and jerk off and stuff. And I tore a few out, kept in my pocket. Grandma found them. Yeah. Good times. Yeah, I was mowing the lawn, and I had dirty clothes, and she was like, "Well, let me wash your clothes." And I just had a stack of folded up nudie pics in my back pocket.
Oh wow. That's
And
like
what'd
an
she say?
after-school special.
Was she mad? No.
She wasn't mad. She was just like, "We need to talk." You know, I was only like 4, so.
Oh, you were 4?
No, I'm kidding. I was probably like 11.
Okay.
But yeah, she's an old Southern woman, so she told my mom.
I got. I was in Vegas one time with my parents. They were there as well. We were in different hotel rooms, but I was collecting those things. You know, like the guys they do that and they hand you the nudie card
Oh yeah,
in Vegas. They're like Barkers, I guess, and they hand you these little cards with naked chicks and like free passes to some strip club. And I was collecting them as a joke, and then I was like, wait, I can jerk off to these. So I'm holding like this little like business card with a naked girl just jerking off. My parents just started banging on my. They just came over, surprised me. So I threw them all under the pillow and like brought them in. I have like a boner still that I tucked into my thing, and I'm like, hey, come on in, whatever. And then like we were sitting on the bed, so like the things like started to come out from underneath the pillow.
Oh no,
You could just see like it's like I was collecting nude cards.
that's not too bad though.
It's not too bad, but like clearly they're under my pillow. Clearly I was using them
Yeah.
to jerk off. And also it's that weird thing when someone comes over and you have a boner and you just gotta let them in and your boner starts like becoming semi and like your dick is just there. You can see your dick through the jeans. It's very embarrassing.
That is embarrassing. Although more embarrassing if you can't see it through the jeans.
I guess so, yeah. When I was a kid, I didn't know that boners were supposed to be embarrassing. Like in 6th grade, I started getting boners, and I would work up a boner and like get it up, and then go walk around my classroom and like
What?
talk to girls.
That's
yeah,
funny though.
I would walk up to girls. I even walked up to my teacher because I wanted people to think I had a big dick.
Yeah.
I thought I was the only one that got boners.
I would always fluff up a lot before I would show my friends my dick. I was
Oh,
rumored.
yeah.
I was rumored as like a teenager to have a gargantuan dick.
I'm rumored
like
that
my
way now.
friends. My friends thought I had a fuck, but it was like literally 85% full, just
Yeah.
like hanging.
But I never showed my friends my dick. I just walked around dick through the jeans like a cowboy.
I'd whip up my dick.
I'll fluff it up for the urinal. You guys don't do that?
No.
Oh, really?
But mine's hanging low anyway. It's a sad dick, so it's always just sort of lengthy.
My dick likes my body. It's always trying to get back in.
Likes to get in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Scared turtle.
Boy, oh boy.
Then I went to Boston. Went to Beantown.
Beantown.
Wilbur Theater. What a great comedy town.
My home and native land.
Great time. I had a whole bunch of whole hours to kill. I went to the mall. What is that? Right by the.
You're in Boston? You went to the mall?
What was that mall? It was connected to my hotel.
Oh, wow.
And I was hungover, so I didn't really want to go outside and deal with people. But I hit the Qdoba, found $5 on the ground, got Ben and Jerry's. Thank you. There was also a high school convention in town. I don't want to sound like a creepo weirdo, but it's high school gals. They're running around in high heels. It's pretty crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
you're not a weirdo, dude. It's not. Look.
Is that normal?
Yeah, we're just people are fucking phonies. Okay, there's a multi-million-dollar sex industry. Every porn site is about teen girls. It's everybody loves a fucking schoolgirl uniform. We're all just pretending that if the legal age to fuck a chick wasn't 16, we all wouldn't do it.
And it used to be, too. Like, you watch all these movies, like Raging Bull, that she's like 15 years old, Vicky.
Right.
And De Niro's like takes in his car, and like that was like a normal thing. And then in the movie Manhattan, two of the best movies ever, by the way, Woody Allen's just dating a 16-year-old
Well,
girl.
let's not get into what Woody Allen chooses to do. Or
I
not
love
to do.
Woody Allen, and I defend him till the day I die.
Actually, I completely agree. I don't think that he molested that little girl.
But anyways, you could just fuck teenagers back then. It was all right. Jerry Lee Lewis married his 15-year-old cousin.
Yep.
I mean, he got ostracized from the community, but
Yeah. If it wasn't a cousin, he'd probably be all right.
yeah, the cousin thing was bad news.
Yeah, look, I'm not saying fucking be attracted to 16-year-old girls, but I'm just saying, like,
I'm not.
The line was fairly arbitrarily drawn. You know what I'm saying? Like, 18 is the age, or I think it's actually 17 in New York. But it's like, I gotta feel weird, like I'm a creep because I'm attracted to young girls and not old broads.
Right.
Like, I think it's weirder to be attracted to old broads.
What's weird is that this is my buddy Ira had this point originally, but why is the schoolgirl uniform so sexy?
It's odd.
They should make it pants and like flats or whatever.
Well, it's not really. It's,
What, are you kidding?
it's pretty long, the skirts.
No, you got the high socks, the
No,
skirt.
they wear them up like that, dude. The girls are whore bags, okay? They're fucking sluts.
It's sexy, no, but it's a skirt with that flows that can blow up in the wind and the high socks. I don't think. Some would argue that that's been made sexy because it was the schoolgirl. I think that's just naturally sexy.
I agree.
Plus the suspenders that come over the tits.
All right, look, it's a young girl in a
yeah.
skirt. We all like it, okay?
Yeah, but why don't they make it less sexy? It should be, baggy pants and a
Just
pair of,
fucking-
Just like a
Nikes.
Ghostbuster.
Yeah.
Get a jumpsuit on that.
Oh, that's
whore.
too close to the Klan. Oh, I was thinking a ghost with the sheet and the holes. That's what I was thinking.
Oh, big difference.
Yeah. Ghostbusters Klan.
You know,
Definitely
what's
different.
What's funny is when you're in line for 5 hours at an airport, isn't it funny how you find the one decent-looking chick and just kind of like, all right, hopefully I'll pass by her again.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that gets you through that line.
Yeah, that's how I live my whole life. Patrice does that great bit about it where you have normal face, but you're just, in your mind, you're just eating out a girl's asshole who's like standing in front of you. But that's what you do everywhere. The train, don't you play that game on the train where you're like,
Yeah.
who would I most like to fuck? Who would I hate to be forced to fuck?
Yeah.
And you got to do that stuff.
Oh, man, I got to tell you about this.
Please.
So when I was James Smith, the Australian comic, he was in the car. We took the cab to the cellar, and he sat in the front seat. And if you don't know James, he's a blunt, mean, miserable guy.
Australian.
I love him to pieces. Yeah. But he's sitting in the front, and the cabbie had BO, like crazy BO. The whole car stunk. And James is like, hey, what are you doing, mate? And the guy's like, what are you talking about? And he was like, you fucking smell like shit. And he's just shitting on this guy right in front of him. The guy's like, what are you talking about? I don't stink. And he's like, the whole fucking car reeks. And he's like, I don't smell anything. He's like, of course you don't. You're living in squalor. You make me sick. He's like, the guy's like, maybe it's you. He's like, I showered an hour ago. You piece of shit. You got to get your life together. And he's just shitting on this guy. And it was so hilarious. Me and Ross are in the backseat dying. Ross started filming him. And
Wow.
he wasn't even trying to be funny. He was just like, you got to make some change. You smell like shit. The fact that you don't know it worries me. You got to shower. It was crazy.
Wow, I've never been that bold in my life.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't tell a friend that he smelled.
He wasn't trying to be bold, though. That was the crazy thing. He was just like, I'm trying to help you, man. Like, you
Right.
smell like shit. He kept insulting the guy. It was
I think it's
wild.
ruder to fucking drive a cab and have people get into it and you smell that way.
Yes, that's what he was
I mean,
saying.
that's like, yeah, it is fucking ballsy to say, but it's like, fuck that, dude. It's like, dude, anytime a cab driver smells, I will just fucking close the middle thing.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
very obviously, like, and then I won't tip him. Fuck that, dude. I'm not gonna have to smell a shitty ass.
Well, you're providing a service.
Dude, I hate cab drivers in general, but I hate the fact that they have like the tipping thing on it now where it's like tip 20, 25%, or 30%.
yeah.
Right.
Come
Who
on.
tips a fucking cab driver 30%?
That's insane.
Didn't you have a tale with a cab driver and a slush?
Oh,
I think
baby.
I told that on this show.
Did you?
I did, yeah, with Metzger.
I think you did.
I
yeah.
told it on
maybe you
this
did.
show.
Boy,
Yeah, I did.
Go
dude.
back and listen to that one
Oh,
if you
geez.
get a chance.
That's great.
Yeah, listen to the first Luis Gomez episode. It's
way better.
Between this one and that one, you'll even out your fandom of Luis. I'm just kidding. You've been great.
I had a manly. You know, in those moments you feel like a man. I mean, nothing compared to beating up Third Grace of the sea or whatever.
Yeah, you have
it
like
was.
a card tattooed on your arm. That makes you feel like a man.
Oh, is that what that is?
Yeah, it's card. I have a few cards tattooed on my arm.
Oh wow.
Oh, wow.
Do you gamble?
Nope. I'm just not very
Smart?
smart. I can't. I don't know. There was a few things that meant something to me, and they were easiest to represent with cards.
Oh,
Right.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah.
So I get picked up to go to this the University of Maryland,
Oh, wow.
and this kid comes pick me up. Couldn't have been more than 17 and a half.
Legal
Good-looking
though.
kid. Oh yeah. And he picks me up in a Crown Vic, and I sit down, and he goes, "All right, you ready? Let's go." And the car, he turns the key, and the car doesn't start. Just doesn't start.
Oh, boy.
And I was like, And he's like, I don't know what the problem is. And the car doesn't start. And he had the e-brake on. I was like, well, you got to take that e-brake off for starters. Couldn't get the e-brake to come off. Still won't start. So I go, can I try? And he was like, well, what are you going to do? He gave me one of those. And I was like, well, let me just try. We've been here 5 minutes. Let me try. Obviously, the car isn't starting. I got to do something. So I get in the driver's seat. E-brake had a thing you pull out. Brake pops up. Still didn't start. Car was in drive. He had turned the car off while it was in drive.
Oh, wow.
He was an idiot. Then I feel bad saying he might listen to this, but nice kid. But then we went to the train station.
Dumb as shit though.
Yeah. Went to the train station, picked up Schumer. She saw the car, said, I'm taking a cab. So it was all a wash.
Wow, wouldn't get in the car.
Wouldn't do it.
Wow.
Well, she had too many bags.
Oh, I see.
So it was awkward.
Oh, boy, that is awkward. One time a guy, Nick DePaul and I were working together in Wisconsin. The guy picked us up in a dune buggy.
Is that
I
right?
thought it was funny, and Nick was appalled. And we just had to sit in this dune buggy. We're outside, and we're just like cruising up, and Nick hated it. And another time we got picked up in a limo at a gig in Montana, and like it was like a theater, and like 30 people showed up. And the limo driver was like, all right, you ready for your ride back to the hotel? And like Nick was like, I'm not getting in a limo. We just sold 30 tickets at a 300-seater.
man.
And we had to like wait. And the guy was like really sad. He loved Nick. He was a big fan of Nick. It's Montana. He's like a celebrity.
Yeah.
And Nick's like, I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't get into a limo.
That's fucking hilarious.
Crackers in Indianapolis picks you up in a limo when you're middling. It's
Yeah.
a little embarrassing also.
Right.
You're getting out of a limo and you're like, meanwhile, you're making $85 for the weekend.
Dude, when we used to sell tickets in Times Square, when I first started comedy, dude, I used to like run a whole team. And every Saturday night before the show, we used to run the midnight show. It was like a huge It was actually Stand Up New York. It was here. I have a lot of Stand Up New York stories.
Great club.
You've been here for years.
This was like my home club when I started. And we used to run this midnight show. It was fucking packed every week, dude. And me and my street, I had like a team of like 16 to 20 promoters. And we just grab a stretch limo every weekend like assholes.
Wow.
And just take it up to Stand Up New York. And we'd smoke blunts and just drink on the way up. And we just get from Times Square to here, it'd be like, 20 minutes.
Right.
They do it for like $50 or $100. We'd all just like split it. And we just fucking pour out of a limo to Stand Up New York.
That sounds fun.
Me and the street team. That's what we should do. We should do a comedy limo night one night. And just I
love that idea.
You don't get hammered, but you could watch us.
I'm fun.
We could do a podcast in the limo.
Ooh,
Yes, a limo podcast.
Limo podcast.
Limo pod.
Let's
Good
do
idea.
hammer fisting, though. That feels a little pretentious for us.
Look at fucking Fattigate. He's loving it,
Yeah,
dude. That's a great idea, dude.
Fattigate's in.
Here's a fun one. And then I'm almost.
But here's the thing.
I
If
got a
you don't
big one
know,
over here.
Mark Norman just comes in with a list of his stories on a fucking notepad. Joe, he's just. I don't think Joe has any stories.
Well, I was
today.
away.
I got them on
weekend.
my phone here. I got them on my phone. You think I'm looking at my Twitter? I'm looking at these
I
stories
didn't know we were
here.
supposed to come in with notes.
Well, it's nice
You don't have to
be
come in with
prepared.
notes.
I would have come in with notes about my stories.
I asked you to come in with notes.
You did not.
Well, I asked you to, wear something nice. Lewis was 17 minutes late, by the way.
Oh,
I was fucking 11 minutes late, but the door was fucking locked, and I buzzed, and you guys didn't let me in. So then Benji tried to get me in, or he did get me in. So
Sounds made up.
all right. This is Tuesdays with Stories, everybody. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Here's fun. Here's a fun. This is how bad I fucked up this weekend. I go to meet Schumer at her hotel. We're going to the airport. Time is of the essence.
he said Schumer 15 times already on this show.
He has to. It's
Yeah.
under contract with Comedy Central.
That's how I keep opening.
I have to say DePaulo 8 times. He has to say Schumer 11.
You have to say Big J once.
Gino Bisconti.
Yeah.
So I meet her. I go to meet her at a hotel, and the limo has a sign on the window that says Mark Normand. I was like,
Oh, all
holy
right.
shit, not a limo, like a town car. I'm like, I got my own car. So I
Wow.
get in it, and he's like, Mr. Normand. I was like, that's me. I put my bag in. We start going to the airport because I figured she got her own car. Why would it be under my name?
Oh, boy.
I just assumed. So I was like, yeah, let's do it, buddy. I'll meet her there, I guess. 10 minutes later, she's like, I don't see you and I don't see the car. And I said, oh, we're around the corner getting gas. And I hang up and I'm like, we got to go back. I'm freaking
my God.
U-turn, U-turns on the highway. We go back. And I was like, yeah, sorry, the pumps. There were a lot of people in line.
Well, so was her name on the other window or something?
No,
Why was it your name?
Because she goes under an alias. And I think he saw a man's name and was like, oh, well, it's probably his limo.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Although I'm like the least important person in the whole trip.
Wow, she's alias level.
Oh, yeah.
My
big
God.
time. Big time.
Boy, she is something else.
She's killing it.
I I did a television program this past week. Access Comedy Live, Gotham.
Gotham Comedy Live. Come on, Joe.
Gotham
Really?
Comedy
You're
Live
too cool to remember the name.
on Access TV.
They shouldn't call it access. I think that's a
It
bad
sounds
name.
like public access.
It sounds like public
sends,
access.
It sends a message that it's public access.
Well, you got to email Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban owns it, and he responds to emails. And he
that right?
watches the show.
He's an interesting guy.
Fascinating guy. You can tweet at him, and he'll tweet back. I heard. And so you can be like, how was my set?
I'm a huge fan of Shark Tank.
What's that?
I've heard that's great.
It's fucking awesome, dude. Just you can go watch every episode. There actually a lot of them are on YouTube. It's people pitch their business ideas to these millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs. Mark Cuban being one of them. But it's like it's fucking great, dude. And they have it'll be like average Joe Schmoes or business owners that they come in, they say, this is what we do, this is our fucking either idea or business, and then they ask them to invest in their business. And it's awesome.
I should go on that show
With
and
Scarf
pitch
Ace.
Scarf Ace.
Yes.
Come again?
Scarface.
Scarf Ace.
Oh, Scarf Ace.
Yeah, we sell scarves. Scarface.
Ah.
I also have another idea coming out soon. I don't want to give too much away, but it's called Tweet the Parents. It's a play on Meet the Parents, but Twitter's involved. I can't give away too much.
I got one too. It's called it's a lie detector called Defibrillator.
That's not bad. Fib.
Fib.
D-fib.
It's warm in here.
So I do the Axis Comedy Live second time around, which was exciting. And
Hey,
I
you're
can't
the-
get on any
Louis-
real TV. I might as well do fake TV twice. So and I appreciate you guys watching and listening. If you watched and listened, I do the show, and DC Benny's on the show, who's a great comic and
Even better real estate agent.
from DC. And we're on the show, and the host is Jay Moore, who's hilarious, who does a Colin Quinn impression that's amazing.
Oh, spot on.
It's like staggering how good it is. So we do the show, and the way the show works, you do your comedy, 4 comics, and at the end, they bring all the comics
What were the
on.
other comics?
Harris Stanton,
Love him.
who's great.
Love
great guy.
him.
A kid named James Davis.
Real hack.
Really? I don't really know
don't
him.
know.
I didn't watch his set. I was pooping.
You nailed it.
But,
Is it really bad?
oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you know what I love about Mark Norman, dude? He's so non-confrontational, but he just openly shits on another comic on a podcast.
Well, he's not good. He's
Right.
ruining the art form.
Is he really?
Well,
He's
what
bad?
else can I say? He's terrible.
Oh, that's great. You can just be like, you can fucking go off the podcast and say, hey, stinks.
Look, I care about comedy, all right? Call in if you know him.
All right, well, Boy, the phones are blowing up here.
Boy.
I want to know who this kid James Davis is now. This
Well,
is
you
great.
can go watch my episode.
I'm sure he's
well,
a
you're
nice
some
kid.
friend. I would have watched it if you were on. I would watch
I was
you.
on it, asshole, and you didn't watch it.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, all right,
I
motherfucker.
don't really watch TV.
Can I say this about your episode?
Please.
I'm sleeping at airports. I'm miserable. I'm taking buses and shuttles and fucking cabs all over this country. I get to the Best Western in D.C. It's a real shitbox. I'm alone. I'm scared. It's cold. It's dark. I turn on.
Access
I see
TV.
you.
Oh, wow.
3 a.m.
That feels good.
3 in the morning. How
Wow.
crazy! I'm lost in the middle of the country. I see your fucking.
It's like a
big
mirage.
face. Yes.
Do I have a big face? You guys,
On
you guys think I have a
TV.
big face?
A forehead.
Oh, jeez. Oh, boy. Wow.
James Davis, everybody. He's here.
So anyways, I go on. They bring all of us on stage afterwards. We're all waving. Mick Foley, the wrestler.
Yeah.
He used to be Mankind, and then he was Cactus Jack. I guess in the wrestling
First of all,
community.
he was Cactus Jack way before he was.
Well, whatever. I'm
Mankind.
telling it out of order. Anyways, I guess he's like a legendary wrestler.
he's a legend.
And he jumped off a cage into a table, and it's
Yeah.
like the greatest
Yeah,
wrestling
dude.
thing ever.
His ear was torn off by Big Van Vader in like
Wow.
the '80s. Like that's how he lost his
Gary
ear. It's like-
Veter?
Big Gary Veter.
So he's got no ear, and
That
just
would be Gary Veter's move. Tear your ear off.
like a dog, a little chihuahua.
But he'd do it very slowly.
He nibbles it off.
And he wouldn't have a new ear biting. Never mind.
Oh, boy. Boy.
Sorry.
We're taking everyone down.
Cutting everybody up.
Mark Norman's not making any friends today.
Oh, boy.
So, and you don't want to lose Veter as a friend. If you
I love
get a dog,
I-
he'll walk the hell out of that thing.
I love Veter.
So, anyways, he rides a dog to work, actually, Gary Veter. Anyways, so we're all on stage afterwards. Mick Foley is hosting the next week. So he's there to promote, and he's in the audience. So I'm like looking at this maniac while I'm doing my act. They have him come on at the end with the comics to say goodbye and plug. Make sure you watch next
Did he
week.
go bang bang?
No, is that his thing?
Ah, it's his thing.
Ah, Jesus. I think
Yeah,
we just
that's
lost
cool.
8 listeners. So,
Funny that you say that because I did a gig at Gotham. It was like this huge gig with all these big names. Dane Cook was on it, Sarah Silverman, and Dane Cook brought Mick Foley up on the stage. He saw him in the crowd, and he's like, "Oh my God, Mick Foley's here! Everybody, give it up!" And everybody went.
ah, jeez.
No one knew who he was. It was the saddest moment ever.
Well, this story, this is the opposite. So we're on stage. It's me and DC, Jay Moore, Harris Stanton, James Davis, who's great. We're all on stage. And then Mick Foley starts walking. He can't walk. He's limps because he's fucking jumped off bridges for a living. So he's just like walking up. He looks like Forrest Gump in the running scene if he was fat.
Uh-huh.
And he's got crazy beard, crazy hair. He walks on stage, and these two nerds, like not like me, have glasses and bad teeth nerd, actual nerds. They see him and they lose their shit. They go Mick Foley. Literally, they're jumping up and down. It's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. They're crying. Tears are streaming down their face. They stand up. They're giving him a standing
Wow.
O. People are just sitting there, and they jump. One of the guys jumps into Mick Foley's arms, and DC and I can't stop laughing. We're like, what the fuck is going on? And these guys, they're going, Mick Foley! Ah! Literally jumping up and down. Mick Foley gets on stage. Nobody told DC that Mick Foley was coming on stage or who he is. So he's just standing next to us, and these two kids are still screaming and crying. And DC goes, I have no fucking idea who this guy is. I've never laughed so hard in my entire life. Sorry,
Man,
my voice is
That's hilarious.
going, but boy, it was crazy. But evidently, he's a big deal to some people.
Yeah, apparently.
The biggest deal.
Yeah,
Crying.
He's
Wow.
pretty big, dude. He's like a living legend.
Right. Well, we didn't really get it.
He's hosting the next episode.
That's
Yeah,
why.
I
That's
saw
what I
that.
said. Yeah, he was going
Oh,
on to
okay.
plug the episode.
He's been doing comedy for a while now.
Oh, really?
That's
Yeah,
the
dude,
thing.
he's-
Once your
he's
career
headlining
ends,
Levity, he's headlining The Stand, or he did like a headline thing at The Stand for a few nights.
Yeah, even Raging Bull in the end, he's like this huge boxer. In the end, he's like trying to do stand up.
Yeah.
Jake LaMotta.
It's the end of the road, people.
Yeah.
You know, it's almost like offensive because you watch that happen a lot, and people really do just.
Rob Schneider, Andy Dick, they're all like, I need to do stand up now. I hate
Right.
it. Tom Green,
They look at us and they just go, all right, well, anybody could do that. That's
Screech.
kind of like.
What's his Steve-O?
Steve O, yes.
Yeah.
Justin
That's got to
Diamond.
be a nightmare. I've never seen a stand up, but it's got to be a fucking nightmare.
It's a lot of picking up drinks and just like chugging them, then breaking the glass, breaking the bottle on his head, stuff like that.
Wow.
National headliner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I write for him.
Do you really?
No, he doesn't have jokes.
Big J wrote for him for the roast.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, roast, yeah. What did Big J write? A staple balls to leg. You know, like how do you write a joke for that guy.
Actually, what was the fucking joke? It was actually pretty funny, dude. Forget it. It was good.
Well, we gotta wrap up. We got another pod coming in here, and we gotta get to Chipotle.
Ooh,
So,
you hungry, Lou?
No, but I thought I was going to tell a story about trying to rob a KFC.
Is it quick?
oh, you forgot to tell the story.
I didn't forget to tell anything. I was waiting for you guys to intro it like hosts.
Oh
what are you
boy,
kidding? You jumped right in the beginning.
What are you talking about? Well, I
Shiprock?
started talking about Shiprock, then Mark started
Well,
going on
let's
about
hear it. You almost
an
robbed it.
airport.
I was trying to fill time.
you gotta rob a KFC with a screwdriver. Hit me with it.
Go, baby. Quick version.
Yeah, I mean, there's a whole. It's not a quick story. What
Uh,
am I going to do here? I can't just tell a quick
I see what
version.
you did. You're just teasing to get yourself on a third episode. You're like me with Gotham Comedy Live. I end every set with a setup, so they'll invite me back.
To be continued, Joe List.
I'm like, one time I was at a bathroom and 2 gays walked in and said, "This is not your day. I'll be right back." And then I'm on season 4. I got raped in the ass by 2 guys. They were the bass players for 3 doors down.
then you drop the mic.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
soap.
All right. I mean, look, I'll
Maybe-
try.
how much time do we have? We don't have time. We got another pod. They're
Damn it.
outside waiting for us.
30-second version.
We'll
Just
have you back on. Oh, jeez.
I'll be on next time.
give us
then.
the punchline.
I almost robbed a KFC with a screwdriver.
Hey, that's all you
beautiful.
need, really.
All right, we gotta get going. Thanks for listening, Louis J. Gomez. Follow him on Twitter.
At
Louis J. Gomez.
there it is.
Louis J. Gomez at Joe List Comedy at Mark Norm.
Yeah, hit us up on the Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. Email us. Write
Yeah.
comments. Like us.
This episode dedicated to previous topic. Great actor Philip Seymour Hoffman. We talked about him on the show a bunch.
Yes.
He's dead and it's sad and well, whatever.
Oh, yeah. Woody Allen fucked me.
That's true.
I want to get that out there.
When he was 11,
Yeah, so.
and I've never stolen a bike, but I've had my bike stolen.
And also send us donations if you feel like it. What's the address there, Fatigate?
236 West
There it is.
78th Street, 10024.
We love Chipotle. If you're listening, we could use some guacamole.
All right, time to triple kiss, boys.
Let's do it. Ooh. See you next week.